I'm going to share a little bit about jealousy and guilt when it comes to dating or even before dating out there in the world. And I'm going to dive into it via a story of me and another woman that I've known for several months now. Right? So, met this woman out several months ago, and what kind of stuck out to me about her was first, she was like, is a very accomplished dancer. And second, I noticed she seemed very comfortable kind of being out on her own, like a strong sense of independence, right? And I feel like as I have been working to kind of develop my own sense of being able to go out in the world, have fun, no matter who's around, what environment I'm in, that like sense of independence really stuck out to me. So, over the next weeks and months, as I saw her again, started talking to her more and more, right? And as we started talking more, we became closer, right? We're friends, right? We're not dating. We haven't like gone out together one on one, just her and I. Um, but we are closer, right? So maybe about a week ago, I'm out at an event that she told me about. She's like, hey, I'm going to be here. It's this type of music that you said you liked. You should come check it out. I'm like, okay, cool. Go to the event and end up having a good time, right? It is music that I like a lot. And so I'm out there enjoying myself, but also there are like a couple other friends that I know. So much of the night, actually, I'm with these other friends or just out kind of bouncing around, starting conversations with people as I am prone to do, right? As I'm doing this, though, still have like little interactions with her, right? She's mostly off to herself, but every once in a while I'll go up, kind of check on her, then go back to doing my thing for 5, 10, 20, 30 minutes, maybe check on her again, whatever, right? Gets to be like later in the night, right? I'm gonna say I got there at around 9. It's now getting to the point of like 2:30 in the morning, right? So like much later in the night, and the event ends at 4. As it has gotten later in the night, a number of people have left, right? The crowd is like much thinner than it was at kind of prime time, right? So, being much thinner, like it's easier to see everyone else in the venue, right? It's not as crowded. You're not like looking past or through people. It's like more sparse, and so it's kind of easier to see who's talking to who. And I noticed her talking to one guy in particular, an older guy, and she's also an older woman. And my sense is that like they know each other, right? And even in talking to her that night and before, she mentioned, I've seen some people here that I haven't seen in years, right? Like this type of music, drum and bass, it's like not the most popular type of music. And there is like a relatively strong community around it where the drum and bass heads like come to the drum and bass events, end up getting to know each other, and maybe you don't see them as often at events that play like other types of music. And it's not so often that there is particular drum and bass events. So like when you see them, you would probably very easily run into like people you've seen before. And with this particular event, was an older crowd compared to some of the other events I go to. And so my sense was like she is running into people that she hasn't seen before. And like even she wasn't even the only person to say this. Like there were a couple other people I talked to that said the same thing, right? Again, people were a little older than me, but people mentioning I've ran into this person, haven't seen him in years. Good to connect, good to see him out here, right? All well and good. Later in the night, see her talking to a gentleman, and seems like they have a rapport and have known each other. Then they start dancing with each other a little bit. And the dancing gets like a little close, right? Fine with me. Like I mentioned, she and I aren't dating, so I've been going around talking to different people. She's talking to someone, dancing with them, like, cool, right? But I also noticed, like, there were a couple times, like, they would start dancing together, then she'd kind of break off, come over and talk to me. And, like, my sense was that, like, she did that to kind of, like, assure me that, like, hey, like, I'm not forgetting about you, not, like, leaving you alone. And, like, even, like, the unspoken thing was, like, I don't want you to feel too uncomfortable that I may be talking to this guy and dancing with him a little bit. And, like, again, my view was, like, not something I haven't done myself. Maybe she wasn't there to, like, see it, but, like, I've done it too. Like, I've talked to other people, danced with other people. Like, so if you're doing it, like, I did not feel a particular sense of jealousy, right? Like, I do like her for sure. But my view is also like, hey, you may have known this person, you may have had a history with this person, maybe even dated them in the past, and so, like, just because we're getting to know each other now doesn't mean that you need to, like, abandon this prior history with this person, like, forget about it, put them to the side, just to, like, develop a potential deeper future with me, right? Cool. Like, does it a couple times. Okay, still doing my thing. Start a conversation with a woman, right? She was actually, like, one of the DJs playing. She finishes her set, comes, like, walks the crowd, and happens to, like, stop a couple feet away to me, to my left. So, turn over, start talking with her, right? First, like, compliment her on the set that she just performed. Then start diving into the conversation a little bit more, right? As I'm doing this, she comes up and, like, stops and, like, stands, like, very close in front of me, looking at me. The other woman then, like, looks at us and, like, seemingly decides, like, okay, there's some history between Jamal and this other woman. So, like, he and I were having the conversation, and my sense was that, again, maybe she was also a little bit interested in this, but then seeing, like, maybe he's here with someone else, she, like, goes and leaves. And in my mind, I'm kind of like, okay, you were dancing with someone else. Now I start talking to another woman, and it's a little bit of an issue, right? Like, not an issue to where, like, you came up and said, don't do that, but an issue to where, like, the actions maybe could have been interpreted as, hold on now, I'm here too, right? So, like, something I noticed, right? But then, later on, again, she's back over, dancing with the guy. So, in my mind, I'm a little bit like, well, again, I don't want to, like, interrupt her and the other guy, but I'm seeing, like, a little bit of, like, a disconnect where this same behavior that, like, she was doing, when I start to do something similar, makes her, like, a little bit uncomfortable. And so that, like, stuck in my mind, and, like, what I thought going forward was just like, okay, I don't really want that to happen where she's coming up and, like, stopping my interactions with other women, even when we're not, like, dating or anything else. Like, so that stuck in my mind, right? Fast forward to maybe a week or two later, right? At an event, another drum and bass event, again, close-knit community, a little bit older folks. She's also there, I'm there, and the guy that she was talking to is there again, right? And I noticed the guy, as the night goes on, begin to like be a little bit closer to her, dancing around her, seemingly like, hey, are we gonna be dancing again? But she like keeps her distance a little bit, right? Then, fine, I'm doing my thing, talking to different people, talking to my friends, all that stuff. I noticed her like go off to get a drink, and then the dude kind of goes off very soon after, right? And they're gone for, I'm gonna say like 15 minutes, right? So like longer than just like picking up a drink from the bar. What I thought was like, oh, he went off to get a drink after her so that he could talk to her. And then they started having an in-depth conversation. Cool, right? I'm still doing my thing, right? The set ends, so there's like a slight lull in the music. I take that opportunity to like go upstairs and check out the upstairs, like the different music that's playing upstairs. As I do, I am leaving, and then I see her and the guy like kind of walking behind her, like coming back in. So it again confirmed like, okay, they had been in close proximity and, didn't leave like together, but left at very much the same time and are now coming back in together. Like, okay, fine. But like, as I like walk past her, I see her get like a little like nervous, and what I interpreted as like a little bit of like guilt, right? Of like, what I interpreted to be as, I like you, Jamal. I want to show that I like you, but also I talked to this other guy too. And like, I don't want you to think less of me because of that. Fine. Go upstairs, like, doing my thing. Then the dude comes up. Starts like hanging out like fairly close to me. The music at the upstairs like ends. I'm walking out. He ends up again like very close behind me, like walking like just directly a foot or two behind me, right? As I'm going downstairs, walk past a woman that I'm friends with, kind of close to, right? But he didn't know that. See her, like wave to her, say hello. He's behind me, so I don't see him, but I hear like a which I interpreted as like, and again, I didn't turn around when this happened, I just kept going on, but I interpreted it as like a little bit of frustration, right? Like, what I assumed was like, from his perspective, I'm interested in this woman, but trying to get close to her, but I see that you and her have some sort of relationship that is interfering with me getting close to her. Meanwhile, I see you, Jamal, talking to these other people, including like multiple other women that night. And so, what is going on, right? You guys have something going on to where you're like friends or close with each other, but then at the same time, you're not so committed. And so, why is she not showing me more attention or reacting in this way to me in these circumstances? Ignore it. Keep on going. Keep on having my fun. Whatever, right? But what I make a point to do, which gets to last night, see her again is like have a conversation with her. And in this conversation, I let her know two things. Like, hey, I care about you, right? More so than I've probably said before. And secondly, because I care about you, I want you to have fun with your friends and have fun while you're out. And I don't want that fun diminished just because I'm around, right? I felt a little bit guilty that maybe she would have had more conversations with this guy or hung out with him more, but didn't because I was around. And I have also felt that guilt of these are women that I've talked to, that I've developed a friendship with, and maybe things could blossom into something more in the future. But if I'm showing interest in a number of women, that may make these women that are my friends, that could become more than friends, right? That could make them feel bad or jealous themselves. So I wanted to let her know, like, I care about you, and it's okay if you're talking to other people, right? Like, the like subtlety in there is like it's not the sort of relationship that we have where you need to step away with your friends when I'm around and spend a certain amount of time with me, or abandon like connections that you've had in the past just because we are growing closer now, right? I don't know what the future may hold between her and I, but I do like her. I enjoy her company, and I wanted to let her know that like it's okay. Like I will still be around even when you talk to these people, right? It's not going to make me like think less of you, feel like I need to walk away, like that's just not the case for me. At the same time, it has been the case where I have been dating a woman. We have been exclusive with each other, and I felt like guys would flirt with her. And one, I used to get like upset when that would happen, right? First, I grew to understand that like being a woman, particularly being like an attractive woman in this day and age, like guys are going to flirt with you. Like it is just going to happen. And so if I'm your boyfriend and a guy flirts with you, like I had to get to the point where I just like accepted that that was going to happen. But in my mind, there was a distinction between like guys flirting with you and you like what I would call like entertaining the flirting, right? Like entertaining their advances. Not to the point of cheating, like don't like the cheating. I do not. But like entertaining in advance. Let's just call it that. When it has happened and I've been like dating someone exclusively, like I have felt jealous, right? That has made me feel like, okay, that is not behavior that is like becoming of our exclusive relationship. At the same time, as I've developed and gotten to this point in my life, I've gotten to the place where any woman that I'm dating needs to understand that it is a very big priority of me to be out, to be social, to be talking to men and women in these environments where people are getting to know each other. Wink, wink, getting to know each other. So, again, right? Like, maybe the woman I was dating would be interpreting that as like, Jamal's gonna be doing stuff, maybe flirting. So, like, is this him saying that it's okay if I flirt too? Or like, what's what's really going on here, like what's fair, what's right, what's acceptable. The thing is, like, in having the conversation with her and saying, like, go have your fun, I'll still be around, we'll still be cool, don't let me stop you, right? It speaks to some of these things so that there is less jealousy and or guilt when we're out interacting, talking to different people. So, as you're getting to know someone, potentially as you're starting to date them, maybe you're not exclusive yet, maybe you are. The point I'm like trying to hammer home is that conversations around these things are beneficial, right? After the conversation with the woman last night, telling her, hey, I like you. Because I like you, I don't want to interfere with you having fun, with you talking to different people, with you hanging out with your friends. I'll still be here. So talk to whoever you want, hang out with whoever you want. And then if we see each other later in the night, cool. If we see each other another time, cool. But like, we'll still be cool. We can still hang out. Like, and after that conversation, we talked more and more in depth than I felt like ever before in our interactions. And sure, part of that's like, well, as time goes on, as you see each other more, you get to know each other more, you get more comfortable with each other, you do develop more of like an emotional connection. That's natural. But I think the other part of it is also, or was also, speaking to this underlying, like, simmering activity that was like maybe a little bit more taboo to bring up, or like a little bit more of a difficult conversation, right? That by speaking to that, by coming to an understanding, by letting her understand where I was coming from, it was opening up in a way that had not been the case before. And in doing so, let her feel more comfortable around me, knowing my perspective, where I was coming from, and the type of person that I am. So, what I'm really trying to say in this video, like the point I'm trying to hammer home is like, have these conversations, and if you can have them sooner, it can really lead to better results. Like I said, this is not someone I'm dating, but someone that I am getting to know and would like to continue to get to know. And to the extent that I didn't have the conversations before, there was a little bit of like disconnect, right? I could feel it, I noticed it. Happened a couple times. Because it happened a couple times, I said, like, next time I see her, I want to address this. I want to speak to it. In speaking to it, it allowed for a deeper, closer connection. So, I hope that with this, it maybe causes you to think about things that have maybe been unsaid with people and some of the relationships in your life. And I hope it encourages you to have these conversations and speak to those things that have maybe been simmering in the background, because I feel like the sooner you do it, the better the results will be. The more the other person understands your perspective and where you're coming from, the more they can feel comfortable around you, knowing what you're thinking and how you're feeling. So take care, and I love you.